WHCS Channel 29 presents Peninsula District Boys Basketball. The Bethel Bruins hosting the Phoebus Phantoms. Good evening, everybody, from the Den at Bethel High School. This is Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Wumble, and we are here for the game between the Bethel Bruins, 4-6, 5-8 overall, and the Phoebus Phantoms, 4-6, 7-8 overall.
Tim, the Phoebus Phantoms are on they have won 7 of their last 8 ball games, and they have really turned the program around, and it's been more or less the attitude of the ball players. They only lost 2 games that Coach thought that they had not played well in. They lost some early ball games, but this is a team that can really upset a lot of people in the district tournament.
We are having the introductions of the teams. Let's run down the starting lineups for you as we have them. I'll do the Phoebus boys if you'll do Bethel. How's that sound,
I can do that.
Kelvin Foy, Jamie Chappell, Andre Morgan, Corey Frett, and Rondell Pugh are the 5 starters for the Phantoms.
For the Bethel Bruins, we have Peter Barner, Damon Wallace, Orlando Crawford, Chris Jackson, and Corey Stewart. They are coached by Mr. Bailey over there on the sideline, and he is assisted by Mr. Findolf Taylor.
This is not a rugby scrum. We want to make that perfectly clear. These are both teams as they are meeting at the center of the court. Phoebus has dressed just 10 players for tonight's game.
Well, they are hurting, Tim, in that and here's the officials, Pat Patrick and Ron Fowler. Ron Fowler's the one that's going to throw the ball up.
He's the guy that's got the same barber I have.
I didn't want to say that, Tim. Markio King sprained his ankle Wednesday. I was over yesterday talking with Coach and even got to talk with Markio a little bit. He is a integral part of this team. He will not play tonight. Last year, about this time of the season, he broke his other ankle. He is a senior and is hoping, the coach is hoping that what will happen, Jerry Gentry says that maybe the rest of the players will crank it up a notch, play a little above what they normally have been playing to take up the slack. So let's see what happens. This is going to be an interesting ball game.
Corey Frett jumping for Phoebus against Corey Stewart. 2 Corey's jumping, and it's controlled by the Bruins. That's Bethel with the ball.
Now, Bethel is a bigger team, Tim, but they're not as fast as this Phoebus team. This Phoebus team is an excellent team when it comes to quickness. They got real fast hands.
Chris Jackson got the first bucket and a steal, and the layup is good for Orlando Crawford. So just like that, Bethel jumps out on top, 4-0.
And that was strict defense, a great defensive play by Orlando Crawford.
Baseline jumper is short. Battle for and finally controlled by the Bruins. This is Stewart giving to Peter Barner. Chris Jackson, nice move to the hoop.
And once they get inside, they're really hurting, and that's what Jerry Gentry was worried about, because they are a big team compared to this Phantom team.
One of our new vantage points for tonight's game is one that you'll see from time to time. Our young and daring cameraman, Sam Stills Jr., has chosen to get up on a ledge. Pat Patrick calls the first foul of the ball game.
And that's on Crawford, Tim.
Orlando Crawford of Bethel called for his first personal, the first team foul. And it will be a shooting foul. I'm not sure we got a chance to mention both of the coaching staffs, Bob.
Well, no, I did mention Jerry Gentry is coaching for the Phantoms, and Mike Bailey is for the Bethel Bruins.
Phoebus gets on the scoreboard. Andre Morgan connects for his first point. 4 8-minute quarters in high school basketball. 6:45 remaining here in the first quarter. This game being played Friday night, January the 27th, 1989. Bethel leading 6-2. This is Peter Barner. Crawford to Jackson, and ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Phoebus.
Well, that's what they've got to do. They've got to collapse on that ball when it's going inside. Jackson is, it looks like he's got a foot on everybody inside, Tim.
Crawford turnaround jumper is good. So Crawford has 4 of the 8 points, and it's a 6-point lead for Bethel. Morgan dishes off, and Barner will be called for the personal as he reached in. And you see a good shot of Pat Patrick, our good friend and one of the better officials. He and actually, I think, not to slight anybody, but these two are as good a 2 officials as you find on the peninsula.
Now, they work real well together. Ron Fowler is a decent official also, but Pat will make even be better.
From 15, it's Kelvin Foy. Kelvin Foy connects. And it's 8-4 Bethel.
Barner will put the ball up from the 3-point range. He's the 3-point shooter.
Damon Wallace in the ball game for Bethel, connects. From downtown, the shot from Chappelle. Peter Barner in and out, and it comes back off the boards for Phoebus. I'm sorry, Bob. I think that Jamie's last name is pronounced Chappelle. Is that correct? Could you help me on that? Blocking foul.
If it's it could be pronounced Chappelle. We have other ball players that pronounce it Chapel. So and the ones that go to Bethel High School, I know is pronounced Chapel because I know their dad.
Okay.
So it could be Chappelle.
Maybe we can get AG to check that out for us. Maybe he, in his roving duties, can find out the pronunciation. I certainly don't want to mispronounce anyone's name, but I was not given the correct pronunciation, and it can be pronounced either Chapel or Chappelle. In any event, at the free throw line is Andre Morgan connecting for his 3rd point. Watch a replay of this play that led to the foul. You see the blocking foul. Tough call to make. Looked like he had pretty good position.
As long as he had to be there before the offensive player left his feet.
And stepping on the baseline is Corey Stewart. So the ball will go back over to the Phantoms. This is Morgan into Chappell or Chappelle. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to call him Chappelle until I'm told otherwise. And with that, I apologize up front in case I did mispronounce the young man's name.
I have no problem with that.
At the free throw line will be Chappelle.
Well, what he's doing, what the Phantoms are doing, is they're taking it inside, as you can see on this replay, and they're making the Bruins, if you're going to block my shots, then you got to block it. But you can see right there, he is hammered.
First point of the ball game. 10-6, Phoebus trailing by 4. 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. 5:17 remaining here in the first quarter. Phoebus with the ball and a 4-point, Bethel with the ball and a 4-point lead. Off the glass, no good. Chris Jackson skies, puts it up, it counts, and he's fouled. So lanky 6'7" Chris Jackson has 6 points, and he'll have a chance to give himself 7.
As you can see there on the instant replay, Tim, he was hammered as he made the shot, and he completes the 3-point play.
So he has 7, and his team leads by 7, 13-6.
And number 50 for the Phantoms come in, Tim. John Ross. First time we've seen John tonight.
This is Ross. He loses the handle, and it goes over to the Bruins. Jackson being fronted by Ross, and Ross knocks it out of bounds. They've got to do some double teaming down below to keep that ball away from the taller Chris Jackson. This is Jackson feeding off for Corey Stewart. Kick it back, put it up. Yes. Damon Wallace has 2 baskets. And it's 15-6. Bethel. Chappelle, the left-handed shooter, off the rim. Chased down and controlled by Rondell Pugh. From 17 is no good. The tip no good. And a foul underneath. Foul will be called against Rondell Pugh, number 32. (15-6). 4 minutes and 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Bethel has led from the very beginning. This is Peter Barner. Corey Stewart from 15 comes short. Damon Wallace off the glass, no good. Jackson, no good. Stewart, yes. So Corey Stewart gets his first bucket of the night, and his team leads by 11. Blocked inside. Back come the Bruins. From 3-point range, Barner's shot no good. And here come the Phantoms. Nice move to the basket. Andre Morgan has 5 points. John Ross comes out. And Markio King, who wasn't supposed to play, comes in the ballgame.
Yes, I'm very surprised to see Markio in there. He was on crutches yesterday.
Off the glass and good for Jamie Chappelle, and I'm told that that is the correct pronunciation. Brian Gwaltney checks in for Bethel. He is number 22. Quarterback on the football team. 17-10. Jackson to Stewart. Stewart penetrates, puts it up from 12. Yes. So Corey Stewart, who has great reach and height, could almost dunk it from that range. Off the glass, no good. Markio King rebounds and puts it in. So there you see number 44, Markio King, the leader of this team, playing with a severely injured ankle. Was not expected to play at all, but in fact is in the ballgame. Chris Jackson drives. So Jackson's having a big first quarter. He's got 9 of his team's 21 points.
Tim, they haven't missed too many shots.
Drive the lane, put it up, no good. Rebound comes off for Gwaltney. This is Troy Fullwood, who's used to getting passes from Gwaltney. Fullwood, of course, a fullback on the football team.
And also was one of the quarterbacks, Tim. He came in quarterback sometime.
Phoebus loses it out of bounds. 1:49 remaining here in the first quarter. 21-12, Bethel. Coming in for the Bruins, much to the delight of many of his fans, David Brown, number 23. Brought the whole family tonight, did you?
He's got a lot of supporters, doesn't he?
So it's Fullwood, Stewart, Brown, Jackson, and Gwaltney in the lineup now for Bethel. Rebound comes off to the Bruins. This is Gwaltney who chases it down. Troy Fullwood jams the pass inside for Chris Jackson. Jackson has it blocked, but a foul. Well, is there a foul or not? I guess not.
No, they knocked it out of bounds, Tim, is what it looks like.
All right, so Pat Patrick hands the ball to the Bruins, and they'll simply inbounds. No foul. There you see our shot from aloft. Sam Jr. precariously perched on a ledge looking over the basketball court. From three-point range, no good. And cleared by the Bruins' David Brown. Pass intended for Chris Jackson was behind him. And now they're going to say it was, in fact, touched by one of the Phantoms. So there you saw a good example of two teams, I get it right, yeah, two officials teaming up to make a call. I'll get it right.
They did, Tim, because Pat was screened out. He couldn't see if their ball was hit or not, and Rand Fowler said it was, so that helped him make the call.
Corey Stewart makes the call. That's 6 points for Stewart. 23-12, back to the 11-point lead for Bethel. And we've got a foul and a whistle and charged on number 22, Brian Gwaltney of Bethel.
At the end of the first quarter, AG is going to get Tom Bailey, principal here at Bethel High School, and Clayton Washington, principal of Phoebus, together. And AG, you better stay between them two guys.
At the free throw line, Andre Morgan. He's got 5 points. He's 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. Make that 4 out of 5 for Andre. 37 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 23-13. Phoebus trailing by 10. There you see a good look at the crowd here. And Andre Morgan continues to hit 5 out of 6 from the free throw line now from Morgan. 23-14. Half a minute to go here in the first quarter.
The Bruins are going to hold the ball for one shot, Tim, is in 25 seconds and counting.
Might remind the fans that there is no shot clock in high school ball.
The only problem I see with this is you got a good offensive string going here with your team, and this could get you out of sync a little bit. Let's see if it ends up hurting the Bruins.
Peter Barner dishes it off down low. Turnaround jumper, no good, but Stewart rebounds and connects at the buzzer. So Corey Stewart got the putback at the buzzer for his 8th point of the first half, and we're at the conclusion of one quarter, 25-14 Bethel. And AG, I see you have some distinguished gentlemen with you.
All right, Tim, Bob, we do have two very distinguished gentlemen, Tom Bailey and Clay Washington. And Tom, let's see, you're up by 11. What'd you tell the coach before the game?
Well, you know, I told him that Mr. Washington had told me the last time we played that we could put any 5 guys on the court and beat them. You know, of course, I know Clay well enough to know he's pulling our leg on that. But, you know, ask him about that. He might have some comments.
Clay, Tom says that you said that you could put any 5 players on the court and beat Bethel. Is that true?
No, Bailey, no, I did not say that. I did not.
We could put any 5 out there, and it wouldn't make any difference.
Okay. Clay, this team of yours, 0-7 at the beginning of the year, you have to be pleased with the turnaround.
Oh, very much so. Coach Gentry has made some moves. He's gone to a 3-guard offense, and we've changed around, and we're just pleased. Of course, we're off to a slow start tonight, but I think we're going to be competitive.
All right. That last ball game was a squeaker anyway. It could have been either way when Bethel and Phoebus played last time.
Great game. All right, Tom and Clay, thanks for coming down.
Thank you, AG.
Thank you, AG, and thank you, principals. Little friendly rivalry there between them,
Yes,
I'm sure.
it is.
Baseline jumper is good by number 42, Ivan Harrelson, who just came in the ball game for Phoebus.
Tim, to give you an idea, that first half, Bethel had 13 rebounds, Phoebus had 5. To give you an idea of the difference in the height.
Knocked away, Phoebus defense, 3-on-1, take it to the hoop, yes.
That was a good fake, Tim, and that's quick points.
Kelvin Foy makes it a 25-18 game in favor of Bethel. Chris Jackson is out of the Bethel lineup at this very moment. He's wandering around over by the scorer's table, getting ready to come back in. And Phoebus gets the turnover.
Well, number 42 for the Harrelson, Tim just did an excellent job. This is the first game he has played this year. He was ineligible until yesterday when he passed his exams. So this is the first game he's played. He played some last year. So, you know, they're glad to have him here.
And Corey Stewart with 10 points here in the first half has made his presence very well known. Knocked away and stolen. Take it to the hoop. Good defense. This is Chappelle. Shovel it up and in.
Oh, nice one. That Harrelson kid impressed me on that block, Tim.
Chappelle gets 2. It's a 7-point lead now for Bethel. A 6-2 run on the part of Phoebus here to start the second quarter. 5:40 remaining in the half. Corey Stewart from the free throw line does not go, and Chappelle rebounds for Phoebus. Have a chance to cut it to a 5-point lead or 4 with a three-pointer. Haven't seen a three-point completed so far this evening. Nice move to the basket, a blocking foul. So Ivan Harrelson showing again some good moves. Foul is charged to number 22, Andre Morgan. Excuse me, check that. 22 would be Brian Gwaltney of Bethel. Harrelson will have 2 shots. This is on the first. And no, he has a free throw violation charged, so there's no point on the play. So Harrelson apparently stepped over the free throw line as he released the ball.
Well, I haven't seen the Phantoms put on their full court press yet, Tim, which they are known to do because they're very aggressive.
Chris Jackson from behind the backboard. He's got 11 points. He and Stewart have 21 between them. Drive the lane, dish it off, put it up off. No good. Reverse layup underneath is good. And I believe that was Jamie Chappelle who got that. That would be 7 points for him.
Well, Bethel is just kind of popping the ball around the perimeter, trying to get it inside to Jackson, and Phoebus is playing good defense.
Their defense pays off. They come down. It won't go, though. Good shot taken by Andre Morgan. It just wouldn't fall. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first half. (29-22). Substitutions for the Bruins. Gwaltney comes out of the ball game. Watch the replay. You see Barner bringing the ball up. Now you saw the foul as the Bruin player moved to the hoop. Jackson doesn't get the roll. And Markio King clears the boards for Phoebus. Chappelle will fire, no good. Tipped loose and controlled by Orlando Crawford of the Bruins. Peter Barner in the backcourt. This is Damon Wallace. I hear our director, but I can't. I hear him talking, but I can't make out what he's saying. The volume's a little low.
Well, he said I was being quiet. I'm watching the ball game. No, but right now, absolutely, yes. That's a good point. You'll notice that the Bruins have a black patch on the shoulder of their uniform, and that's, of course, in memory of Bolin Shoup, the assistant principal, who passed away the 20th or 21st of December this year, past year.
Wallace has 6 points, and his team, again, Bethel, leads by 8. Corey Stewart with the rebound.
He is a man among boys out there when he goes up in the air, Tim. He is so big.
Baseline jumper doesn't go. Chris Jackson crashes the board, but he can't get it either. Back come the Phantoms. Whistle underneath and a blocking foul. Peter Barner is called for his second personal foul. 2:42 remaining here in the first half, 31-22. Bethel holding on to a 9-point lead.
Well, it's been cut down as close as 7, I think, is as close they've been the second quarter. They've made a couple of runs, but Phoebus has made a couple of runs, but Bethel come right back, and there's a good shot of that instant replay of that last shot.
Andre Morgan at the free throw line. He's hit 5 out of 6 so far. I think that's 6 out of 7. And Morgan continues to be hot from the free throw line.
Well, that's what's keeping them in the ball game right now, Tim, is their foul shooting. They put a lot of pressure on the Bethel offensively, and they're causing them to foul, and they're getting the shots. Bethel is not even in the 1-and-1 yet.
Corey Stewart from 12, no good. And chased down by the Bruins. That's Damon Wallace. Jackson rebounding, it doesn't go. Excuse me, I think that was Jackson, yeah.
That was Corey Stewart on that last rebound.
That's
Tim.
what I wasn't sure, but I think you're right. 2:07 remaining here in the first half. 31-24. Bethel. Phoebus with a chance to cut into that lead. Watch the replay. You see the foul. Foul was charged to Orlando Crawford. That is his second.
Well, Tim, that cuts it to 6, and they can cut it to 5 with this conversion on this foul shot.
This is Ivan Harrelson.
First game of the season.
He hits 1 of 2. 31-25, a 6-point lead. Inside of 2 minutes to go. From 3-point, no, they say it was on the line, so not a 3-point shot. It doesn't go at any rate. Jackson to Stewart to Jackson. 12 points for Chris Jackson. Excuse me, 13 points rather. And Jackson with the rebound. Troy Fullwood. 33-25. Bethel has led from the beginning. Good interception by Ivan Harrelson. He's played a good first half.
He really has, Tim. Now, he's been practicing with the team, of course, but he's been ineligible, so he couldn't play.
Chappelle for 3.
They'll get you back in the ball game real quick.
Baseline jumper, ball is loose, picked up by Corey Stewart. He puts it in. 12 points for Corey Stewart. 35-28, 41 seconds remaining in the half. Almost thrown away. Knocked into the backcourt. It was knocked into the backcourt by the Bethel Bruins. 23 seconds, clock moving. Phoebus apparently playing for the last shot of the half.
Well, now they're starting the offense with 12 seconds to go.
And a foul on the way to the basket.
And it may have been a little quick, Tim, because that's 7 seconds, which will give Bethel a chance to get down and get at least a three-pointer off.
Troy Fullwood called for his first. There you see the coach for Bethel reading the riot act to one of his players. Here's you see the replay. As quick move to the basket. As he goes by, he is hacked from behind by Troy Fullwood. Good coverage there, fellas. Andre Morgan continues to be hot from the free throw line. He has hit 8 out of 9 from the charity stripe. And just like that, I jinx him. And that's your buzzer sounding the end of the first half. So, Bob, your impressions on the first half?
Well, Tim, I think that the Phoebus team is in this ball game. The intensity that Bethel showed at the beginning, getting the ball inside, and Chris Jackson getting that many points, it seems like they've gone away from that a little bit, gone to a perimeter game, and have passed the ball around the perimeter. But this Phoebus team is so fast that they can get in and get a whole, and disrupt a pass across court, as we've seen a couple times. The first quarter, Bethel had 13 rebounds, Phoebus had 5, but the second quarter, they each had 8. So Phoebus came back and rebounded right with the Bruins in that second half. I look for Coach Gentry to come out with his Phantoms and play a little more aggressive full court, make the Bruins run a little more, and he knows he's got the speed. He doesn't have the size, but his speed can kind of overcompensate for that. On the other hand, I look for Bethel maybe to come back out and go back what they did the first quarter, get that ball inside to Chris Jackson and Corey Stewart.
All right, we're at halftime, and Bethel holding on to a 6-point lead, 35-29 at halftime. We'll be back with second half action, but first a brief timeout.
Look at the difference. 13 rebounds Bethel did to 5 first quarter, but 8.
And our halftime score is 35-29. The Bruins 6 points ahead of the Phantoms. And A.G. Womble, I understand you have Coach Kozlowski. You want to talk about Proposition 42.
Right, Tim, Bob. We do have Coach Koz. We've heard a lot about Proposition 48, but now recently we've heard about Proposition 42. Koz, briefly, what is that?
Well, Proposition 48 originally intended an athlete to have a 2.0 in the core courses and 700 on the SATs. What Proposition 42 proposes is that any student athlete that doesn't achieve the 700 on the SATs cannot receive a scholarship to any major institution in the country. Unfortunately, that will limit some of the athletes from getting an opportunity to get an athletic scholarship. Presently, a kid can, if he doesn't get 700 on the SATs, he can accept a scholarship, but he'll lose 1 year of eligibility under Proposition 48. 42 closes that door on him.
Your thoughts on 42 from a coach's standpoint?
Well, without a doubt, it's really like nailing the coffin against the minorities and the underprivileged children of America. Some of these young men have not had the exposure to the academic circles or the literacy that they need to develop their vocabularies to do well on those SAT tests. And it's not their fault, and I think possibly the NCAA is closing the door on a faction of our society that needs an opportunity.
Any of your athletes that gaining scholarships be affected by this?
No, fortunately, most of our athletes are doing very well academically, so we're hopeful it will not affect any of them. Proposition 42 won't go into effect until 1990 anyhow, and the other good thing is that it may be voted out in the next NCAA convention.
Okay, thank you, Coach Koz. Tim, Bob, back to you.
All right, AG, thank you. And Dennis, thank you for your words on that, kind of clarifying a little bit for the fans. I know there's a lot of confusion about these propositions.
Well, Tim, what happened was in the Georgetown game, when they first passed this resolution, George Thompson, to show his opposition, walked off the court, did not coach for 2 ball games. Now he's back on, and he's got a lot of support of a lot of the other institutions and the coaches, of course.
Back to the game at hand at halftime. The scoring statistics find the leader, Chris Jackson, with 13 points, 12 for Corey Stewart, 6 for Devon Wallace, and that rounds out 4 points for Orlando Crawford for the Bruins.
And Tim, they did just what I thought they would do. They came right back and went right into the center with
which number got that one? Did you see?
Oh, yeah, that was Chris Jackson. Went right back into Chris Jackson, Tim, just like they started off that first quarter with. Getting the ball inside because they are so much bigger inside than what the Bruins are. And what right now is what's happening is they're playing a box and one on number 20, but it didn't do any good.
Jamie Chappelle with his second three-pointer in a row.
And they had Corey Stewart on him, and there's an interception by number 44, Markio King.
And a whistle inside and a foul. Foul is charged to number 32, Orlando Crawford. That is his third. What I tried to get around to was Andre Morgan led Phoebus in the first half with 10 points, as did Jamie Chappelle. You see the replay underneath. Jamie Chappelle warming to the task here.
Well, he's got 4 points already in this third quarter, Tim. Make that 5, and the lead has been cut to 3.
Peter Bunner is fouled.
Foul on number 14. I can't hardly.
That's Kelvin Foy.
I gotta tell you, I can't hardly read this stuff. I need big letters.
That was a player control foul. 3-point lead for the Bruins. Each team with an identical 4-6 league record, district record.
Now Bethel's being real patient, trying to find the open man.
They did, but Brian Gwaltney couldn't hit it. Phoebus with a chance to cut it to a 1-point lead, or in fact even tie with a 3-pointer.
Corey Stewart is playing Chappelle man-to-man. They're all in a man-to-man, but he is really dogging Chappelle. And now the Phantoms go into a stack offense.
Chased down by Chappelle, but he stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
Well, what he should have done is let the ball go out of bounds, because it would definitely been their ball. But that was, you don't think about that. You think about grabbing the ball and keeping it in play.
37-34, 5:45 left here in the third. Rebounded underneath by the Phantoms. Rondell Pugh with the rebound. Chappelle will fire. It does not go. Chris Jackson clears the board. Gwaltney looking inside.
Well, Phoebus is still playing a zone, Tim. But I tell you, once that ball gets into Chris Jackson, there's nobody that can stop him.
Jackson now with 17 points. His team leads by 5. This is Phoebus with the ball. Put it up, no good. Followed by Markio King is good. So Markio King, playing with an injured ankle, has 4 points. And the lead is again 3 for Bethel. Corey Stewart makes a move to the basket, and he's fouled.
Well, you shouldn't be able to do that against a zone. It should collapse on him, and they just got over there too late.
Markio King called for his first personal.
Well, the start of the second half, Tim, the Phantoms have out-rebounded Bethel 4-1.
Here you see the replay as you saw Stewart driving the lane and King going up, committing the foul. King comes out of the ball game now, and John Ross returns. Corey Stewart has 13 points with that free throw. And he hits both. Back to a 5-point Bethel lead.
There was a block shot that time, Tim.
Ball thrown away underneath. Ron Fowler grabbed the ball. The official. Phoebus trailing by 5, brings it up. The foot out of bounds. Last touch by Phoebus, John Ross. King comes back in for Ross for Phoebus. A little more than 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. 5-point Bethel lead. They've got the ball. And we've got a whistle and a foul.
Well, the fouls are being called against the Phantoms with a lot more than what they had in that first half, Tim, but it's because of they're getting a little more aggressive defensively and trying to get some things to happen.
Kelvin Foy called for the personal. Varner amongst the trees, and it's last touched by Bethel.
I don't know about you, Jim, but we sure have a lot of traffic in front of us tonight. This game is exciting enough. I can't believe the people are walking back and forth as much as they are.
And Pat Patrick calls a traveling violation. Andre Morgan called for steps.
I think there's a parade somewhere.
I think there's at least one that's missing.
Maybe they're looking for a parade.
The lost parade. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Corey Stewart.
Tim, he can be awesome. I have seen him play some games that he has been awesome. We got a timeout now.
Phoebus wants to talk it over. 2:51 remains here in the third quarter. 43-36 gives me an opportunity to run down the standings in the district at this point, and it is a tight race at the top of the district. Hampton is 8-2 in the district. Then in second place are 3 teams coming into tonight's games. And watch the replay of some action there. Denby, Ferguson, and Kecoughtan, all with 8-3 records. Then Phoebus and Bethel, the 2 teams you're watching, are in third place with identical 4-6 records. Lafayette is 3-7. Warwick is 3-8, and Menchville rounds out the top teams with a 1-9 record. Hampton overall has a 12-2 record. Denby is 11-4. Ferguson 10-5. Kecoughtan 10-6. And speaking of Kecoughtan, next week we'll see this Phoebus team when they'll tangle with the Kecoughtan Warriors.
And we will be at the Warrior Gymnasium up on Woodland Road. And we invite all our fans to come on out to the game, see it in person, and then you can copy it and watch it again.
Chappelle's shot rims the basket. Chris Jackson with the board. 43-36. Inside for Crawford. Excuse me, Damon Wallace, number 24. And that is 8 points now for Wallace. Last touched by the Bethel Bruins. Phoebus trailing by 9 points.
And the Bruins went back into a zone, Tim. I think that was more of a pass than a shot.
Nonetheless, a turnover, giving the ball to Bethel. You know you have a superior height when you can throw all the way across court like that. 3-second violation against Bethel.
You're right, Tim. You look at there's 2 men out there for the Bruins, Chris Jackson and Corey Stewart. They're a good 6-8 inches taller than most of the players on the Phantom team.
Nice move to the basket for Harrelson. It doesn't go, but Markio King gets the putback.
He just took that ball right out of the hands of Bruin. I didn't see which Bruin it was, but he wanted the ball more, and he took it away.
And back come the Phantoms. Jamie Chappelle puts it up, no good. Markio King's follow-up shot doesn't go. And we've got bodies all over the place. No fouls called. Brian Gwaltney holds it up for the Bruins. A pass hits the rim and comes out, and here come the Phantoms, 3-on-none. Take it to the hoop. Harrelson. And again, a 5-point game, 45-40. Phoebus continues to hang tough. They've gone behind by 9 here in the third quarter, and now have cut that lead back to 5 with 2 straight baskets.
Well, Tim, if they can convert over the after the turnover, that is the key for them. They can cause a turnover and convert on it, then they're going to be back in this ball game. But if Bethel decides to force that ball inside, that's going to be a long night for the Phantoms.
Down to 15 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Corey Stewart dishes off for Chris Jackson. 19 points for Chris Jackson, 5 seconds remaining. The Phantoms, they get the shot off. It doesn't matter whether it would have counted or not because it didn't go. Would have been an interesting controversy on that one. I'm not sure. I didn't see a wipeout signal from either of the officials.
I didn't either, and I think Pat was looking at the three-point lane to see whether the young man was standing on the line or not.
So it was a 6-point difference after the second quarter, and now a 7-point difference after 3 quarters, and it was an 11-point difference after 1 quarter. So Phoebus hangs tough, trailing by 7. We'll watch some replay of that last basket scored by Jackson, as you saw Corey Stewart drive and then dish off to his tall teammate, and Chris Jackson put it in for his 18th and 19th points of the ball game. Again, we want to thank all the fine folks here at Bethel High School for all of their help and cooperation tonight. Athletic Director Dennis Kozlowski and all of the fine people here at Bethel High School being in their usual corporate says, I got to straighten something out. I don't know whether the fans watched the girls' game that was on yesterday, but the green hot dogs I was concerned about, those are pickles.
Yes, I saw that.
I cleared that up. So.
Angela came out and I thought you had a green hot dog and it was a pickle.
Yeah.
And
so.
I got to do a little apologizing here. When we was at Denby last week for the Kickingham Denby game, Dennis Gilligan was in one of the spectators, and we had the camera on him, and I said, there's the principal of Bethel High School, which he was when I was at Bethel, but he is now at Kickingham High School. And I said to Johnny Pauls was the AD at Bethel, so you knew where my mind was, right? I apologize to those 2 gentlemen.
Inside, Andre Morgan with his first basket of the second half.
And here we see in a full court press, and I knew it wasn't going to be long before we saw it.
And a traveling call, so the press pays off.
Now the key here is you cause the turnover. You got to go down and convert. You've got to put some points on the board.
Trailing by 5. Start of the fourth quarter here. Tim Cole with Bob Hintz and A.G. Womble. Jamie Chappelle goes to the bucket, but it doesn't count as he was called for the offensive foul.
That was a good call. Chris Jackson got over there and was there before Jamie ever left his feet. And then we got a 1-2-1-1 press.
Bethel handles the press. Peter Barner for 3. Yes. So Barner gets in the score column big time with a 3-pointer. And his team holds an 8-point lead. Phantoms fired up, and Andre Morgan connects for his second in a row.
That looked close to being backcourt, but Fowler said no.
Right on top of the play. Waltney double team, puts it up. Yes. So Brian Waltney gets in the score column.
The intensity level has picked up, Tim.
Barner and Gwaltney had not scored, and now they have put 5 points on the board quickly, and we've got a foul inside. I believe the foul is going to be against Bethel. That'll be on Wallace.
And here we can see the replay on that, Tim. He takes a 3-pointer, and this is a long 3-pointer. And the foul there was on number 24.
Yep, that's who it was, Wallace. From 3-point range, an air ball underneath, and we've got a whistle. Another foul. This one is on Brian Gwaltney. That'll be his 3rd. Orlando Crawford. Gwaltney will come out. Crawford will come in. .5:56 to go in regulation. 52-44. Bethel holding on to an 8-point lead.
Well, every time Phoebus gets close, the Bruins just pull it back out again. And you wonder how many times you can have runs like Phoebus is doing.
7 points for Harrelson, 3 out of 5 from the free throw line. And he brings his team back within 6. Stolen by Markio King, put it in. 8 points for Markio King. And he intercepts the ball and then goes backcourt.
Well, that was hustle. And you wouldn't believe that young man was on crutches when I saw him yesterday, Tim. And Bruins had better take a timeout because it could have been a 2-point game right then. He did a good job of stealing the ball, talking about Markio King, but he caught it and his momentum sent him back court.
King coming into this game averaging 17.3 points per game, has picked up 8. And Chappelle from Phoebus, his teammate, just ahead of him at 18.4. Watch the replay here. You'll see the steal, but in his efforts to steal the ball, King caught the ball in the forecourt and stepped into the backcourt. Stewart, Corey Stewart, averaging 13.2 points per game coming in, has got 16 on the night, so he hasn't hurt his scoring at all. I'll tell you who we have not seen this evening. And I was just running down the list here. Craig Rainey, number 21 for the Bruins, hasn't played a minute tonight.
Well, he's had a little administrative disciplinary problems, I think.
Chris Jackson is fouled before the shot.
And that might not have been a bad foul. Of course, you're going to put him on the foul line, but you're going to make him work for the 2. But it's a 1-on-1, Tim, so if he misses the first one, he gets nothing.
Chris Jackson has hit on one free throw tonight. That completed a three-point play earlier in the first half. 52-48. As you mentioned, Bethel will be shooting the bonus for the duration. And Jackson will get a bonus. He's got 20 points on the night. Doesn't get the second, but he gets the rebound. Jackson spots his teammate open on the baseline, and then we've got a whistle inside.
There's a foul on Corey Stewart. He went right over the back trying to get the rebound that time, but this will be a non-shooting foul, I believe.
That's only Corey Stewart's first personal foul. So a 5-point deficit for the Phantoms when they bring the ball up.
And from now on, both teams will be in the bonus, Tim.
This is Harrelson for the three-pointer. It's no good. And then we've got a foul in the backcourt.
That's one of those shots you say, no, don't. If it goes in, you say yay, but if it doesn't, you set the young man down.
There you see the replay. It just rimmed off the bucket. Then the foul occurred as they were heading down court. Foul was on Harrelson. 53-48, 5:10 remaining. Peter Barner will get the bonus. Barner with 4 points, all of those coming here in the second half. And he's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. A 5-point lead again for Bethel. Excuse me, 6 points, 54-48. And Corey Stewart clears the board.
I mean, he cleaned the board, Tim. He was up high enough he could have used Windex and wiped off the board.
He and Jackson are a real nice tandem. Pass inside was batted away, and then the foul was committed by Damon Wallace.
Well, all that was created by Markio King. He intercepted the ball, and Wallace tried to stop him, grabbed a hold of his arm, so that'll put him on a foul line. But I'm very surprised to see Markio playing at all, but playing as much as he's playing. But it doesn't seem to be bothering him. It must have it wrapped up real good. And here you can see the fine defensive play by Markio King.
First time he has gone to the free throw line tonight. He gets the first, and he'll get the bonus. There you see a good shot of Markio King. Scoring leader for, check that, just behind Chappelle for the scoring leadership on his team, but he has 10 points, and those have come off the bench. Batted away by, once again, the ever-present Markio King.
Well, he plays that middle part of that 1-2-1-1 zone press real good, and he may be just about a half a step behind because of that sore ankle.
Stewart's shot is short. Back come the Phantoms, 3-on-1, dish it off right side, put it in.
And we got a 2-point game, Tim.
Kelvin Foy with 6 points. 54-52, 4 minutes and change. Knocked away inside, and it was last touched by whom? And they're going to give the ball to Bethel. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, Pat Patrick saw where the ball, who had hit the ball last. Fowler couldn't see it. Again, that's a good showing how the officials work together well, as you was pointing out earlier. But that would have been a chance for the Bruins, for the Phantoms to go down and tie this contest up.
They trail by 2. Bethel has led throughout the ball game. Chris Jackson is hammered inside.
They're going to make him earn it at the foul line, Tim, because he was going to get 2 for sure.
Markio King called for his second personal. Chris Jackson will go to the free throw line. He is 2 out of 3 from the stripe. He's got 3 out of 4 as he continues to play well tonight. 21 points on the evening for Chris Jackson. 16 for his tall counterpart. I should say counterpart, but teammate Corey Stewart. 22 for Jackson. Andre Morgan leads his team with 14 points.
Number 14 for the Phantoms.
Kelvin Foy. That's 8 points for Foy, and then we have a foul in the backcourt.
By Foy. But that's aggression, and you don't mind that kind of a foul, Tim.
.329 remaining here in the fourth quarter, a 2-point game. 56-54. Rebounded by Stewart, put in. Corey Stewart with 18 points, and his team leads by 4. Chappelle off the glass, no good. And it's loose and a foul. Foul will be on Chappelle. .315 to go, 4-point lead. Watch the replay. Now timeout has been called. Well, gentlemen, we have a quorum here. We have AG sitting over to our right and yourself. Got some picks for player of the game, AG, Bob?
Well, I'm right now, it's in between Jackson and Stewart for Bethel, and I'm leaning towards Chappelle, but Markio King has showed a lot of guts to come out and play on a sore ankle, and I'm impressed with Harrelson for the first game of the year. So, you know, those are my 3, my 5.
I got my 5. What about you, AG?
I think, Corey Stewart, even though he's just a junior, is just a natural basketball player. That guy's a big-time basketball player. I think we're going to hear a lot about him in the future. Just a few seconds, I sit up there with Janet Bailey for about 4 or 5 minutes.
The life of a wife of a coach is unbelievable.
I'll let you talk to my wife someday.
So, AG, you say you're leaning towards Stewart?
Who are you leaning
Stewart and Chappelle.
Seems like pretty good. You could choose any one of about 3 or 4 players on these teams. They both played well. Tip comes to Jackson, and Jackson puts it back in. And Jackson, with 24 points on the night, more or less has my vote. He's been the more consistent player on the court.
Oh, he has by far, Tim. Between, yeah, I'll have to go with that.
60-54. Bethel in a 6-point lead. Chappelle will try for 3. It comes up short. Markio King had it and lost it. Got a man down court. Chris Jackson will jam it. Much to the delight of the throng on hand at the den.
And Tim, that might.
Chris Jackson emphatically put that last one in, and we've got a foul underneath.
And that may, with that kind of reaction you get from the crowd, it just pumps up the team. And we'll see with 2:27 whether the Phantoms can get back in this ball game, because now they're down by 8.
Game played Friday night, the 27th of January. This coming Friday, the
Here's
3rd
that
of February.
jam.
Watch the jam.
Here
There
it
you
is.
go.
Watch that. I mean, with authority. Good shot, Joe.
Jamie Chappelle at the free throw line. He has 16 now, and he'll get a second shot. Starting to say, hope you will join us out at Kickintan High School Friday night, the 3rd of February, for the game between Kickintan and these Phoebus Phantoms. We'll be there. Hope to see you in person at the game. Phoebus holding on to slim hopes there. They trail by 7. Batted the ball around, but they get it back. They take it out now.
Tim, they have to score here. To have a chance, they have to score.
Morgan Harrelson is tripped up as he drives past Damon Wallace, and Wallace will be called for his 3rd personal. 2:01 left, 62-55. Not that I'm questioning your point, but why do you think they have to score at this point? They still got plenty of time,
well,
2 minutes.
Yeah, but see, if you miss it here, then I don't know that Bethel would do this, but if I'm coaching, we're going to go down, we're going to take some time off the clock because we got a pretty good lead. We got about 7-point lead. Now you got 2 opponents out there. You got the Bruins.
David Brown getting ready to check back in.
Oh, here he is. I wonder what had happened. But now the Bruins can take their time with their offense. So, yeah, I really believe that they have to score these 2 free throws.
I didn't mean that you weren't right. I was just wondering an explanation of the
Well, see, if you score the free throws, then you can set up into your press too, Tim. And now the Phantoms are not in a press, so that hurts them.
Jackson looked like he dragged his foot, but no call. He's so tall he can drag 1 foot and have the other foot across the timeline. Barner has it picked off. This is Harrelson. Harrelson, a man with a mission, and he's tripped up as he goes in. Jackson with a chance for the jam, misses it. David Brown, no basket. No basket, the foul was before the shot. Chris Jackson had visions of another wham bam slam.
He did that. He most certainly did.
Bethel needs to calm themselves down a little bit. That's probably what you were just watching there as the instructions from the bench to slow down and control yourself.
Well, Harrelson's played a good game, Tim, but on that last shot when he missed his layup, he did not keep his head up. He dropped down to see where the man was in reference to picking up a charge or a blocking foul. Didn't keep his head up and come up short on the layup.
So Michael Bailey's team will go to the sidelines. They'll try and ice David Brown at the free throw line. The timeout called by the Phantoms. Minute 27 seconds to go. A very important set of free throws forthcoming. You look into the Bethel bench area. Again, our congratulations to the Phoebus girls team, extending their unbeaten streak to 16 games. Had a nice chat with Mike Talon after the ball game, and he was still talking about those 30 free throws that they missed.
Yeah, he's real concerned about the team not playing with some intensity, Tim. And, I asked him, after he gets through the regionals, he got Lake Braddock and Thomas Jefferson out of Richmond, who are pretty, and he said, I'm not worried about anybody but our team. And there is a super
fan, Don Smith.
Don Smith.
Dave Brown at the free throw line with the 1-and-1. An important couple of free throws here. And he throws it up short, and off it comes to Chappelle, and back come the Phantoms.
And they've got to score quick, Tim.
Chappelle misses, but Markio King follows up and has his 12th point of the night. And it's back to a 5-point game. 1:09 left.
And they are just trying to run some time off the clock.
Jackson is fouled, and that was a good play by Chappelle to foul him.
Tim, the only thing you got to be careful here is if you do an intentional foul, they get the 2 shots, so they get the ball out of bounds. So you got to be careful of that in this situation.
53 seconds remaining. Watch the replay here. The pass comes into Jackson. And Chappelle going for the ball, so no intentional foul there. He had a good shot at the ball.
Markio King was the one I was thinking about would got the intentional foul maybe.
Jackson nails the first.
Well, he's the one I got to go with. I got to go with you, Tim. Chris Jackson as the MVP for Bethel.
27 points, make that 28.
And AG agrees with us.
64-57. Corey Stewart with a big rebound. He's got a man alone. Dish it off. David Brown. So David Brown gets the high quality shot. Give the assist to Orlando Crawford as he saw Brown coming in and set him up. And that one was met with as much glee as the jam by Jackson earlier.
And you can see the fans, and
Watch
here
this.
it is.
Here we go. This is Orlando Crawford, if we've still got it. We'll hold on and we'll see if we can still get that one for you. Slow-mo Joe's working on it. Peter Barner at the free throw line puts the nails in the coffin.
And that's icing on the cake, Tim.
There you
10
go.
points, no way.
There's David Brown, little rim hanging.
That's why they have those breakaway rims now, so they don't have breakaway backboards. Violation on that second foul shot, so Peter didn't get it off.
Has a certain amount of time in which to shoot and did not do so. 10-point lead now for Bethel. Chris Jackson continues to excel. Brown loses the handle and back come the Phantoms. Chappelle puts it in. So Chappelle with 18 points on the night, showing a good account for himself. Chris Jackson, Corey Stewart back to Jackson. Jackson puts it in. So Jackson at the buzzer scores his 29th and 30th points of the ball game.
Hey, Gia, if you can hear us, find out if that's Jackson's high for this year, the 30 points. AG is trying to get a hold of. He's got Mike Bailey over there, Tim. He'll probably try to talk with Mike and maybe a couple of the ball players while we figure up our statistics here.
So Corey Stewart ends up tonight with 18 points, 30 points for Chris Jackson, 4 points for Orlando Crawford, 8 points for Damon Wilson, 2 points each for David Brown and Brian Gwaltney, 5 points for Peter Barner. And AG, go ahead.
Mike, congratulations, Mike. I think we're over here.
Peter, get Corey.
Mike, 69-59, big win for the Bruins, obviously. Seems like you put it all together tonight.
Well, no doubt about it. We've been having some troubles with pressure, and at the end, the kids really executed well. Passed the ball ahead. We did an excellent job, I felt, early in the ball game defensively, and we sort of eased up a little bit, lost our intensity. Phoebus is one heck of a ball club. You don't win 7 out of 8 ball games without being a good ball club. I am real proud of these 3 guys.
All right, hold on a second, Mike. Chris Jackson, big win. Was this your high in game? How many points did he have, Tim?
30.
30 points. That's your high for the season?
It is. Yes, sir, it is.
Pleased with the outcome. What was working well for the Bruins tonight?
Well, we was, getting the ball on the side. Me and Cole, I think we kind of dominated the game, with the passing and everything. Pete did a great job. I'm just, we got to keep the momentum up and do that for our next game against Bayside. So I'm ready.
Chris, you got a few good assists there, and you stuffed a couple.
Had to do it, babe. Had to do it.
All right, Corey Stewart, you've been playing outstanding all year.
Thanks a lot.
Your thoughts on the big win tonight?
Well, I think mainly it was on defense and a lot of rebounding. And I guess I was getting the ball to the right people.
This team has had some ups and downs this season, but it seems like here towards the end of the season, things are coming around.
But the Hampton game did a lot for us. It gave us a lot of confidence. And we just built on it. And it just led us through all the rest of the game.
This fella has not got all the height, but he has played some fantastic basketball all year. Peter, your big win tonight.
Yeah, it was a big win for us. It's one of the biggest wins we had all year. Every win gets bigger for us. Our goal is to win the districts, then the regions, and hopefully the state. And whatever we got to do to win, we're just going to go out and do it.
Okay. What about the districts coming up now? Your thoughts about the team? Are you peaking at the right time?
Oh, yeah, I think we're peaking at the right time, but we got to keep getting better by every game. Every game, if we get better, I think in my mind we can be one of the best teams in the league. but this district is so competitive that any team can win it, and just hopefully we're on top.
Great game night, Peter. Mike, they say we're peaking at the right time over here.
Oh, I hope. Every game's important. We tell the kids you come out ready to play, and it's really, to play the game of basketball, you got to be emotionally ready. If you aren't ready, you're not going to play.
Mike, during the fourth quarter, I spent 4 or 5 minutes up there in the stands with your wife, and the life of the wife of a coach is a little stressful.
Oh, no doubt about it. She can be happy when we lose, and she's got to deal with me when we lose also. So, when we win, she's real happy. I'm just happy. She has to sew my pants. I split my pants tonight, so her job's never done.
All right, Tim, Bob, before we let this man go, any thoughts or comments for him, questions?
Our congratulations. If he can get Chris Bailey and Stewart to play the way they did tonight, he's got a winner.
Okay, they're saying congratulations, and if you play like you played tonight, and Chris Jackson, we had him as our MVP, and good luck the rest of the season, Mike.
Well, thanks a lot.
All right, Mike Bailey.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right, AG, thank you. Bob, any final words?
Well, on the wrap-up, Tim, the team that got the ball inside is the one that won, and we've seen that happen this year. I have seen it. I've got to watch quite a few of the Peninsula District ball games. Hampton has got a tremendous duo inside of Hunter and Mundy, and then they can bring a young man by the name of Ash in, and they've got a real tough inside game. But when Bethel plays like they did tonight, getting the ball inside, they're going to be able to play with just about anybody. What Mike Bailey said earlier is they've had trouble with the pressure. They handled the pressure tonight. That's a good sign. Maybe it's a sign of maturity. Maybe it's a sign of, hey, we can play with pressure. I don't know. But I don't want to take anything away from this Phoebus team. They really hustled out here. But, boy, you look on that floor, and they were outmanned height-wise and rebound-wise. It was 30-23, I think, was the final count on the rebounds in favor of the Bethel Bruins.
All right, we've got one more interview before we break away. AG, who you got there?
He's going to have Santa. Go ahead, AG. Try again.
Very happy family members here. The wife, Janet, and the son, Ryan. And, Ryan, your thoughts on the game tonight?
Well, they just played good, and they played real good, and they just played good.
All right, I understand you're a basketball player. What year are you going to be playing for the Bruins?
I don't know yet.
All right. Now, you were a little nervous in the fourth quarter, but things worked out. I told you how to work.
Now, AG, I'm fine, but I didn't know then. It was still in the offing, and I couldn't tell which way it was going to go. I only celebrate when it's all over.
Good fourth quarter.
Really good. I thought they all played very well. Really good teamwork, good defense.
It's nice for a coach to have such a supportive family.
Oh, it's nice, but it's wearing. I tell you, this has been a long season.
Okay, good luck to y'all the rest of the year. Good luck. Good job. 3 in a row, he said.
All right, thank you, AG. A little insight. I know.
That's Janet. Janet is happy, and I know she's got to be.
Sure she is.
That was a great win for the Bruins. Any win is a great win.
That's right, any win, exactly. Anything you can walk away from. Chappelle paced Phoebus with 18 points, 14 points for Andre Morgan, 12 points for Markio King, playing certainly at less than full speed, but put a valiant effort into it. As you said, boy was on crutches yesterday, so you got to take your hat off to his fortitude and his desire to win, and that's what it takes to be a winner, of course. Kelvin Foy had 8 points for the Phantoms. Ivan Harrelson, playing his first regular season game for the Phantoms, came up with 7 points and a very solid contribution. For A.G. Wumble and for Bob Hintz, the final score again, 69 for the Bethel Bruins, 59 for the Phoebus Phantoms. This is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Hope you'll watch us again next time. Good night, everybody.